What is this? An off and on the clock on a Wednesday? Your eyes do not deceive you. We wanted to squeeze in an extra show for this Thanksgiving slate because Underdog is treating it like a normal slate. We have a ton of contests. The rake-free turkey has already filled. The second turkey is already up, and we have so many other contests to dive into. We're going to break it all down. Our favorite plays, our favorite low-owned gems. We'll build some pick'ems, all the usual stuff here on Off and on the Clock with John and Nez. I'm Pete. Let's do it. All right, first matter of business. Did you guys get all your turkey entries in before it filled, the rake-free version?
It's truly sick that it's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Wednesday before the slate starts, and your boy got 10 entries in this morning. Like, what is this? Like, what?
I got all the entries in that I wanted to get in.
What is that?
I got 70 in. I'm like,
okay,
man, I'm not going to be jamming with the sickest of the sick. You know, everybody sorting by projections, that nobody letting ADP slide. I'm like, you guys have your fun. I got some sick little combos in there. Don't get me wrong, that we'll talk about. But yeah, I got my 70 in, and I'm good.
Yes, I got my 150 in. I was part of the sickness there. It is funny that you say that, John, because I remember we always do the ship giving show on Wednesday night. We're going to have that tonight. You guys are more than welcome to swing by the way. But I remember in previous years, like doing some of my rake-free turkeys, like during that show, like on Wednesday night, like on the side, getting some of it. Like that doesn't even make it till Wednesday night anymore. So you had to be on top of it this year.
Yeah, 100%, man. And hey, I mean, credit to the people, because rightfully so. These rake-free contests, I mean, you're basically taking 4,000 entries out of the player pool in playing them. So, hey, if people want to be sick about it and jam it in, absolutely power to them for that. Because, if you were a masterclass subscriber, this is one of the best football drafting weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I might have even sold it short by saying it's like the same amount of contests as a typical main slate. I would say it's more, right? Like we have the winner take all, which we haven't had on the main slate there recently. I mean, this is every time I'm scrolling through the carousel, I'm like, holy cow, there is so much to get to. So what would be some of your guys' favorite contests for this week?
I mean, I really am enjoying anything with the Bengals on it. Anything that has the Bengals is kind of been my go-to. And I mean, not to like get into the plays, but it's really because of the cover boy, man. I'm just like super stoked about Mike Gesicki tomorrow. Yeah. So any slate that has Gesicki on it, I'm in. So like the smaller Bengals slate, I'm going like double tight end, because it's just like give me all the Mike Gesicki in the world. Is this just like what's wrong? What's wrong with the Gesicki stuff?
I'm laughing hysterically because we start the program with like how sick it is that these contests are filling early, and then the immediate pivot is we're all looking for the guy. One's got 150 in, the other guy's got 70 in, and the other guy can't stop drafting Mike Gesicki on like the sweetest 3-gamer ever. Like, it's just hilarious. Like, we're all looking for the problem, and it's right here.
Well, Nez, you're referencing, so the leftover slate includes the Friday game, correct?
Yeah, is that the one? Because honestly, like, there's so many that I've lost track of which side contest that is with Gesicki. But yeah, there is one.
Yes, yeah. The leftovers is the Thursday night football and Friday there.
So that's not even one that we're going to be talking about. But like,
I mean, hey, we are talking about it right now, apparently.
Yeah, we are. But like, I guess just evergreen or just overarching point is that I am Gesicki pilled on this slate, man. Like big time Gesicki pilled.
I say we pull up kind of the ranks like we normally do. We'll obviously bounce around here. It's not as fun of a slate for talking scrolls. That is for sure. I mean, as we'll kind of discuss here, outside of the quarterback position, I would say like the projected points, there are some massive cliffs at running back, wide receiver, and tight end. So I'm actually excited to talk through with you guys like some of the ways you're trying to get unique here, because it is difficult to do without sacrificing a ton of projection. But yeah, let's we can bounce around. It doesn't have to be scrolls. It can be macro, favorite plays. We can just jam out here on this this slate.
Yeah, I think the number one macro that I would start with is that obviously this slate mirrors a primetime Palooza more so than a main slate. And I think if you're not accustomed to drafting the primetime Paloozas and, trying to play rope-a-dope with pushing the onesies to create fallers or trying to, scroll past the quote unquote obvious 100% drafted plays, like how much grosser those back end clicks truly are. If you're not accustomed to those dynamics or not used to it, this is going to feel kind of weird and clunky. But thankfully we talked through so many of those slates throughout the year that most of the player pool here hopefully is familiar with that dynamic. But you're right, Pete. Like the biggest thing you'll note is like when we sacrifice projected points in our scrolls, like we're used to sacrificing like 1 or 2 projected points and looking for like touchdowns at these back ends. When you're doing it here, you're sacrificing 5, 6, 7 projected points in your flex position. And it does not feel comfortable. And you guys just have to tell yourself a story that like, hey, the uniqueness angle and the uniqueness lever here of like just 1 touchdown going to a backup or 1 touchdown going to a WR3 can flip the entirety of a slate on its head.
Yeah, and there's like a few spots where I think there's some pretty good fragility, like the Kareem Hunt and Pacheco projections, I think are maybe closer together than how they're being drafted. I think Jaden Reed potentially being back can kind of muddy that like clear Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs stuff up there. So there were a few spots where I feel like you could kind of get creative without sacrificing a ton. But other than that, and I would say quarterback, it's tough. And then one other note, like macro, that I would piggyback on with the like the primetime Palooza type conversation, and I heard the guys on Establish the Million say this, and I think it applies for us too, is sometimes on these short slates, like last year we had Cooper Rush and who was the quarterback on the Cowboys last year? Drew Lock. Or it was Drew Lock and Cooper Rush played in that Cowboys-Giants game.
I forgot
year.
about
that. Yeah.
So like our QB5 and QB6 and like game environments and stuff were just not as attractive top to bottom. Like this is one of the best slates you're going to get on Thanksgiving. 48.5 Packers, Lions, 52 Chiefs, Cowboys, 51.5 Bengals, Ravens. And so one note they were making is that it's a little harder to just onslaught an offense. Like we've had those slates where it's like just onslaught Lions and you'll be good. Like similar to the PTP onslaught and offense, like I feel like you got to kind of one-off, grab your pieces here because there's going to be like had to have it pieces probably in each one of these games, and taking like 4 Ravens or 4 Lions is probably just going to lower your ceiling too much.
Yeah, for sure. I think what John was saying is like really how I feel, which is like kind of throwing out like the typical projection brain process like out the window here, at least for me, man. Like I'm getting my high projected lineups in these drafts, when they fall to me, but otherwise I'm trying to make it a point to basically script out exactly what I'm trying to get here, just so I have these sort of game scripts in my portfolio, because I don't think anybody else will. So like, doing a lot of these like low owned double stacks, if I am getting to these like more unique QBs, doing things like that, a lot more 3 wide receiver teams as well. I find that's a really easy way to get unique and to scroll down, is to do that with the 3 wide receiver team as opposed to, and getting that running back early. So that's kind of how I've been sort of like approaching the uniqueness angle and like the conundrum of like how to get unique here. But the point stands though, this is such a sick slate. Like they're like the unique plays are still really fun and good. So that makes it even more like incentivized to get there, because we're not getting to like Drew Lock like we just mentioned. So yeah. You'd be crazy to not want to.
In the other thing, I like that you mentioned the scripting thing, because I noticed about, a third of the way through my drafts, I mean, you're getting Lamar dropping in these. Like I have 6th-round Lamar, like Dak is readily available. And what I started to notice is like, holy cow, like Goff and Love are like barely getting drafted in these, because it's just so hard to get there when like a Lamar value is sitting there and you already took Mark Andrews or whatever. So I started scripting out, Goff teams, Love teams just being like, unless I go in with that plan, I'm going to get distracted by some value and I'm noticing the field doing this over and over again. And to me, that's like the cleanest leverage angle on the slate was Goff, was Love, because I don't think you're sacrificing as many projected points there at the end as you are, those other positions.
Yeah, it's a really good point there, Pete. Like, because if you go in with the mindset of like, I'm going to just go GM creating every time, there's going to be so many overlaps in your own combos. And you're going to have this perception that you're creating like really unique teams by the ADP values. But once you spend 10 drafts in a lobby, you realize how readily available they are despite the ADP number that's tethered to them. This is a very interesting dynamic with to pivot into quarterback here. It's like a really interesting dynamic with Lamar just in a vacuum. Because this is like the smash spot of all smash shots. This is the flow chart. This is the throw to tight end spot. This is the get it established on the ground spot. This is like the full Ravens offense should come back to life, right? Please and thank you. And if Lamar had any semblance of Lamar-esque games the last 2 times out, like his ADP would be so much higher than this, right? So that's the other interesting wrinkle to the Lamar falling stuff is like in our mind, a player of Lamar's profile and archetype, last year's MVP or should have been MVP, should not be falling in these rooms to this degree, right? In this spot. But just because of recent performance and because of in-room dynamics, he does.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's different is that we've kind of moved from typically on a slate like this with these names, Lamar would be like, you can roll Lamar naked, right? 60 yards rushing the TD. And I think I have a couple naked Lamar teams, but for the most part, I was stacking him because he's not running anymore. And so if Lamar is the optimal quarterback, he's probably putting up 27, 28 points. That's probably 3 touchdowns, that he's throwing in that scenario. So I found myself stacking Lamar almost exclusively. And I also found myself not scared about Lamar Henry pairings either, because I'm like, Henry isn't vulturing Lamar at the goal line. Like Lamar isn't running. So Henry can have his big game and Lamar can throw for a few as well. But that's the only difference for me is how I was viewing Lamar.
Yeah, I had 50% Lamar through 40 drafts just because I'm like, dude, it's the Bengals, and I'm just trying to throw out what we've seen from Lamar in the past 2 weeks aside, because the Bengals, as Reeves said on his show with Pat Angles Upside, he's like, they got the tonic. If you have any sort of woes offensively, they are your cure. And I just couldn't believe that it was kind of being, in my opinion, overthought. But because he was falling so much, I was forced to do different things, because I'm just like, man, I'm the fish apparently that wants to take Lamar when all the other flex players project the same. So I had a ton of Lamar, but then started to pivot. Just in terms of my strategy here and what I did in the turkey and what I probably will plan to do is had a pretty strong Mahomes fade. It can kill you, but if Mahomes is going to be QB1 and going at that price every draft, it was just not something I was going to take part in. So I had a few Mahomes shares at most. I really tried to force it, but otherwise really wasn't in on the Mahomes stuff. I strongly preferred Dak, strongly preferred Goff, and and even the Jordan Love stuff, given he's just so low owned, and we know he can take deep shots. We just haven't seen it. And I think if this is as good a spot as any for Love to really take some shots, where I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball effectively against Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be able to put up points pretty effectively at home. So let's let Love sling it and see what happens. And you can do that and just have a combined 10% drafted percentage on the Green Bay pieces if you do something like that. I'm totally overselling the Watson ownership because it's gonna be high, but Dubs minuscule, Love minuscule. So I love that play.
Yeah, and even though it's by ADP 19.3 Watson, Dubs 22.9, I agree with Nez. There's a very big gap there. My guess is most of the Dobbs will be with Love. People don't necessarily one off him. And what I was starting to do at my end of drafts is, because Dobbs was always there, I was just clicking Jaden Reed over and over, knowing I'm going to have the priority swap to Reed. And then if Reed does go, then you're getting a really low owned piece. And I'm or I'll just swap right back to Dobbs. So I was forcing myself to do a decent amount of Reed there at the end.
That's smart. Yeah, I didn't get to any of that.
continuing to share love for Love. Do you guys? I retweeted a chart this morning from Sam Hoppin. Do you know who the leader in EPA per play is this season at the quarterback position?
Is it Jordan Love? This feels
It's
like a
Jordan Love.
I had no idea where you were going with that.
I was shocked to see this. Yeah, there's also some narratives around Detroit defense, like just being banged up in general. Like Terry Arnold concussion protocol limited. You're dealing with maybe no Kirby Joseph on DNP with a knee. Like there's a lot of good reasons to get excited about Jordan Love here and to tell yourself the story that like, hey, even if Josh Jacobs comes back here where he now has the probable tag, but people were playing the speculative Q tag game earlier in the week there that like, hey, has Emmanuel Wilson like earned a little bit more workload? Is he truly going to be 100%? Do they want to just fully establish it through a guy coming back on a short week via injury? So there's a lot of narratives at play here to be like, this is a attackable spot through the air for Jordan Love. And they haven't really had a pound the table one of those in a while because they've had like ball control games where they've had the complete other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what too, like the caliber of the QB6 on this slate to what we're having. Like we know
Right.
Love can sling it, and to get the double whammy like Nez was talking about with the low owned pieces there is probably the best leverage angle overall on the slate. But we shall see. I have fallen for the Jordan Love trap time and time again, and I am fully prepared for 24 Josh Jacobs carries. 2.5 yards, cloud of dust, 2 TDs, and shoves it down my face for sure. Let's talk a little running back. I mean, this is definitely the spot where it is hard to be creative. I mean, I mentioned the Kareem Hunt Pacheco thing with Pacheco back, but after David Montgomery, I don't know. Nez, you said you were getting a little creative. Did you get to any Mitchell? Did you get to any P. Ryan or not that deep down the totem pole?
The green button was not where I was getting creative. That was that was not where the creativity lied. I was like racing to not be the one to take Kareem Hunt as my RB1.
Yes.
That felt terrible. So no, I was not getting creative here. Honestly, I have like no scrolls here. I don't even want David Montgomery, to be honest. I think that he's just like completely like I just think he's a different player right now, and it's the Gibbs show.
Well, and that's, Rohan mentions here in the chat, obviously Chase Brown's role with P. Ryan back. I mean, that's legit. That's a huge ding for Chase Brown.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say, Nez?
I mean, I kind of disagreed. I love Chase Brown.
You don't? No, I mean, I'm clicking him a ton because, I mean, after Gibbs and Henry, it's like, what? But like, don't you think that really impacts, I would say, his floor more than his ceiling if he's not catching 6 to 7 balls?
The absence of P. Ryan obviously helped Chase Brown in the last couple weeks, but getting Burrow back, I think is a huge help, and just like the offensive efficiency and like Chase Brown staying on the field and what that does to the defensive like schemes that they're going to see, just like with Joe Burrow out there, that I think it kind of helps the efficiency for Chase Brown. I just think the Bengals are going to be able to put up points personally. So I want to play Chase Brown in what I think is going to be a really high scoring game. Is kind of where I was at. I think when push comes to shove, man, I don't think that they're going to, I'm just like playing, being a Chase Brown hopeful, but yeah, I don't think it feels bad. It's a very high scoring game in a Joe Burrow offense.
Yeah, I just think you can poke holes in, like, I think Gibbs and Henry, as the market has it, clear 1-2,
Right.
Not really any issues with those guys whatsoever. I think Brown with P. Ryan back, Josh Jacobs off the injury in a tough matchup and potential negative game script, and then Javonte against a Chiefs team that's been a good run defense all year. I mean, none of these plays like made me feel comfy. I was mainly doing it for the reasons you were saying, positional scarcity. It's just like, holy cow, Javonte starts to look really good when you're comparing him to David Montgomery.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you like that running back, John?
Yeah, I found myself funneling to 1-1-3-1 builds in my first 10 there. And it was mainly like anchor Gibbs Henry or full punt. And I was kind of full fading that middle tier. I have 0 Chase Brown. I have 0 Javonte Williams. I have 0 Kareem Hunt. I was trying to either push Josh Jacobs and be like, he comes back to full workload and smashes his ADP and should be like, player 4 on the slate. Or I was playing like, hey, Pacheco wins the job back. Justice Hill doesn't play, and Keaton Mitchell has a receiving role, plus had one red zone opportunity last week as well. I really agree with the take of Samaje Perine coming back and having the combination of him and Burrow coming back having a negative effect on Chase Brown. I mean, Chase Brown can still give you like the 14 to 18 points to win the slate. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather pay the lesser price point and chase that with like David Montgomery falling into the end zone twice on a short week. Like the Lions are really interesting with the narrative based stuff, playing the early game on Thursday and being as banged up as they are, that like, hey, did they have a game plan going into that Giants game, knowing that they had a divisional Packers game at home after, with the way in which they managed their roster? Like, Jameson Williams usage, David Montgomery's usage, that sort of stuff? Or was that just like a complete not even on their radar, and that was just how the game broke? I think it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that Yuta's brought up on Bully the Sims a few times with teams like the Lions who can score so many points, and it's normally in situations where it's such an easy defense that you can basically score however you want, and then leaning into who are the guys who didn't just get fed, who are the squeaky wheel situation. So like, you could certainly see the pendulum swing back here for Monty and JMO, but I think that narrative works more if they're like rolling and it's just like, hey, if anybody can get it, yeah, let's dial up some plays from these guys. If the Packers are playing them close, I think they're just going to dial up, their best plays, and that might just mean Gibbs gets the ball every time again. But yeah, I'm not scared of going back to JMO or Monty after a rough, week 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really be scared of that. Like, it's just not the slate to be scared of that. You have to just envision their true range of outcomes if you're playing this, because if you're just full fading JMO on a short slate, it's just I just don't think that's the way to play it at all, especially in a spot where there should be a lot of scoring. They're inside. You got to just kind of like wipe the slate clean of what you saw last week.
Yeah. Speaking of Lions, I did some Brock Wright. How are you guys handling him? Because he's definitely going to be pretty low ownership.
Yeah, didn't go through walkthrough yesterday. DNPs all week. Their tight end room is so thin right now, because even like Zolstra behind is out right now. They only have one other tight end on the roster with former 49er Ross Dwelly there, and then primarily a blocking guy. We saw him fall into the end zone in the past. But yeah, I didn't take Brock Wright. I was scrolling past it. I was taking other options, but I think it's fine. But they're in dire straits. Like, they only have one other tight end on their practice squad too. I was looking. Who was it? It was a household name. Anthony Ferkser on their
the household name.
I will pull my in-laws tomorrow, and I'll say Anthony Ferkser, and everyone will be like, oh yeah, I remember him on the Titans for sure.
that's a household name where we come from. No?
Yeah, that's true. You're clarifying. You're saying if you're in the Deposit Kingdom, right, then Anthony Ferkser is a household name.
I know our audience. That's a household name. A guy who's been cut by like 5 different teams. That's a household name. People forget he went to Harvard. Hey, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Great pull.
Yeah, I did forget.
Anyways, to answer the question, I'm playing the Lions through other avenues than trying to encapsulate the Brock Wright, even if he does play. But I think he might be on the wrong side of doubtful right now.
Yeah. And again, that's the same thing where if you're taking Brock Wright, it's definitely with your last pick, and it means all the other good tight ends are off the board anyway. So if you take Brock Wright, that means you're going to probably be able to swap to either Ferg or Gesicki anyway. So it's like not the worst thing to like have some placeholder teams with him there.
In a vacuum, I was pretty surprised how many people were doing 2 tight end builds.
Really? Yeah. I talked, because I did a show with Davis on Monday, and we were like rapping about it a little, and I was like, I could see myself maybe having like 6 or 7 of them in my 150, and I think I ended up with like 2. I just didn't get to it that much.
Yeah, I like it. I like it quite a bit, man. I think like Kelsey and Andrews, I think project really, really well. And then it's the Gesicki play, Gesicki thesis. Like he's going to probably be number 2 in targets, I think, by a pretty safe margin. We've seen Gesicki have success with, Joe Burrow in the past, just obviously just removing T. Higgins and, shifting these targets around has me really, really excited to play Gesicki. So he's like by far like my most drafted tight end. And I have a fair amount of 2 tight end teams as well because of it.
Yeah, because I mean, in that instance with like the 2 tight end stuff, you basically are saying like, Kelsey scores along the same wavelength as the Christian Watson, Xavier Worthies, and they like project similarly. And then Gesicki is your tight end anyway. So like, I don't think it's crazy. I think I like it a little bit more with like Kelsey than Andrews, just because Andrews strikes me as more like the boom bust touchdown hunting guy, where I think Kelsey can have like an 8 for 80 type game and outscore some of those wide receivers right next to him.
Yeah. The thing is I'm just like, I've learned my lesson too many times, man. And now I am fully converted into flowchart supremacy. And you just play Mark Andrews against the Bengals, man.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's gonna be fine.
Has anyone gone crazy enough to do Lamar plus the double Ravens tight ends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just
That's
thinking
fun.
through ways to get unique that are like intelligent, that you don't sacrifice too much on this slate. Like I imagine Isaiah Likely projects like pretty similar to like the Yosha Voss, Jaden Reed tier. So why not just do it?
Yeah. It's just like kind of fun to just, just buy into the trends, man. Like just fade the wide receiver 1 against the Bengals, play the tight ends. There's 2 of them against the Bengals with a very fun running quarterback that can run, and just see what happens. See if the flow charts are correct. And I'm just listening to the flow charts.
Yeah, I could show. I pulled this up before here, but you want to see the flow chart here with the numbers backing it up. I mean, well, you can go across the board with this Bengals team, biggest fantasy boost to opposing running backs. But it's close up here, right? Giants also giving up a ton. But then you head it over to tight end and you look at the boost here. It's 8.4 fantasy boost. Next closest is Dolphins at 3.5. So just like a giant chasm between them and everyone else with how bad they are against opposing tight ends.
That's an old school Cardinals-esque for that two-year run there.
I know.
Yeah. I know. And it was really, I mean, the Steelers, the first time Freiermuth went nuts. It was just this most recent time was the first time like the flow chart didn't smash. And that's kind of because the Steelers are now running a three-way tight end committee and none of them got the volume to take advantage.
Yeah, good point.
Let's talk maybe like some mid-tier wide receiver takes here. I guess like, pretty consensus top 7 with Pickens, but then I think like the Flowers, JMO, Watson, Worthy tier is kind of interesting. Obviously you're correlating there a little bit, but do you guys have a favorite of those 4 who all project pretty similar?
I'm team JMO. I'm playing they're so depleted on offense. Let's play the bounce back narrative. Let's play they saved him a little bit last week in a game that they could, get through. And I'm going back to the well as someone who had 52% Jameson and lost 611 USD on this great platform, investing in him last week. I'm willing to go back to the well here, and he's currently my highest owned. I want to circle back on the Dallas thing real quick, but Nez, give your answer here.
Yeah, I am. I'm a JMO bull. Got a ton of JMO in best ball. Love JMO, but I think I prefer Christian Watson cost adjusted to the 2 here. Not a huge, drafted percentage difference. Like Christian Watson's basically 100% drafted, so you're not really getting much there. But it's just like the role that Christian Watson has assumed since he's came back, just like immediately off of the ACL, and just like being like a real force here. And kind of like I was saying from the jump, I just think this is a passing script for the Packers, and Christian Watson's out there at like damn near every route, doing the high efficiency stuff that we love for fantasy. Give me 2 Christian Watson bombs here and see what happens. I think it was 3 Thanksgivings ago. Christian Watson wrecked the slate. Let's do it again.
Yeah. In the, this is the same Detroit defense that just gave up a monster game to Wan'Dale Robinson deep down the field. They play man coverage at a really high rate. Christian Watson can torch man coverage. I think I like the Watson stuff a lot.
Even Jameis Winston's torching them in the secondary. I mean,
yeah, that's right. The stiff arm.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's man, I can't imagine the film review for the Lions on whatever DB that was that got stiff armed into the shadow realm by Jameis Winston. That's gonna be a tough week.
It'd be an honor.
The just to put some numbers to what Nez is saying there, since Christian Watson's come back, both him, Romeo Doubs, and Bo Melton, Savion Williams as well, have played all 5 of those games. Wicks and Golden have been in and out of the lineup. But 78% of routes to lead the team, 18% target per route, around 17% targets, which are second on the team behind Romeo Doubs. But the reason they're second on the team is because his ADOT is 6.1 yards deeper. It's 19.8. He accounts for 39% of the total air yards in the last 5 games they have played there. He's also been the kind of like number one guy they go to for those 3rd and 4th down targets, leading the team in that regard. So, yeah, I like this role a lot. Nez.
I like all these guys. I mean, the same thing with the flow chart. I mean, I think Zay Flowers can have a big game here. And honestly, one of my other kind of favorite angles, I have like a slight underweight fade on Rashee Rice and went heavier on Worthy, just like the hamstring stuff. I mean, I know he's fine, he's going to play, but just a little bit in the back of my head. And then knowing how leaky the Cowboys secondary is, we just watched Devonta Smith get loose down the field against them multiple times, AJ Brown. So I could see Worthy kind of finally, hitting on some of those deep balls here and being like a really nice, like 1-for-1 if he outscores Rashee, which I think is possible.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Pete. That's the good football point. The game theory element and point is if people have like GM slate breaking combos, they're probably going to involve Rashee Rice because he was falling earlier in the slate with the Q tag, and people were doing like that. Doesn't matter as much for Turkey 2, but for some of the contests that have been open for this whole window, him and Jacobs were like the 2 Q tags that people were trying to like take advantage of and leverage. So if you want to go double bubble on those quote unquote super teams in terms of projection, to do it with Worthy makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. For sure. And I mean, the Mahomes too, like it's hard to stack Mahomes. Like, did you guys get to anything other than Rice, Kelsey, Worthy? Did you get any like Tyquan Thornton or Hollywood in there?
Hand up, did not.
No, I don't think so. I told myself I would get a Hollywood Brown share, but I actually don't think I did. I think it was too much when push came to shove.
Which kind of makes sense for you, Nez, because you said you were soft fading Mahomes. You'd be less apt to get there. I mean, to the point of soft fading Mahomes, you just kind of spoke on that one, Nez. It's just like that Dallas defense has actually gotten a lot better the last 2 weeks. Like just with pieces coming back, with Williams being in there now, with Overshown coming back, like just getting healthier. Like them and the Ravens are like the 2 defenses that have gotten healthier. And then actually the Ravens took a little bit of a step back in the health department there. But Dallas for sure is like, if you're looking at a season-long sample versus just the last couple weeks, it wouldn't make as much sense in the Mahomes fade.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see here. We haven't talked like a ton with the high end guys. I mean, you can make solid cases for all of them. We just mentioned the Rice hammy. There's been a lot of enthusiasm for Pickens as he's been outscoring Lamb of late. Chase versus Amon-Ra is always kind of a fun one. Like, do you guys have any, micro stands up here or just spreading your bets?
I've been Chase over St. Brown, just kind of like trusting my gut on that and ignoring what big projection has to say about it. But I can understand how models get there. The other one is free thinking my way into Pickens over CD Lamb. Just thinking about kind of taking myself back to the summer when this trade first happened, Pickens to the Cowboys, and like we were so pumped, right? And I think we had high hopes in terms of like what this could be and what this could mean, and it's like far exceeded what we could have possibly thought. And I mean, not to be like a full film bro and a take and have these takes, but like how much more talented is CD than Pickens if he is at all? Like Pickens, we know had all the talent in the world. It was really just kind of like an offensive system thing and an attitude thing. Now he's in a great system with a great quarterback and playing for a monster contract, trying to play his way out of a franchise tag. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just taking Pickens here because the role is so solid. They are going to pass like nobody's business here in this game. The role for Pickens has just been so solid, man. I'm just going to ride the hot hand. Like, I just think Pickens is just really, really good. And Dak clearly, like, knows how to hit him deep. And I just think it's going to be a Dak game, going to be a Pickens game. I've been taking Pickens over CD for most of my drafts.
It's a really interesting conversation. This was the one I was most looking forward to today because of like the recency angle. The one thing that nobody's talking about with George Pickens is he just randomly had a DNP yesterday, and there's no Q tag, there's no nothing. Like I don't know, good. I think it's fine, but like it's less than desirable when you're doing a coin flip as is between the two of them that he just randomly pops up with a knee thing yesterday in a DNP. I don't think it's not like he's not going to play or like whatever. It's just like when the coin flip between them is so razor thin, and we're dealing with like a lifetime track record of CD Lamb versus like an on off of like 7 games of Pickens this year. Like I was just playing the CD Lamb side of things.
Yeah. And I mean, it really is like splitting hairs here. Like even looking at ETR projections, Lamb 16.4, Pickens 16.2, and then Rice is sandwiched in between there at 16.3. So like, yeah. I think it'd be crazy to hate on anyone taking a stand on one of these guys over the other, because it's just all so close there. I mean, the one thing I just the way Pickens has been hitting with such a huge ADOT, like I do like putting Pickens with Dak more, where I'm a little more willing to play CD Lamb like one off. Like, you know, when I get Pickens, I'm kind of like starring Dak, whereas with Lamb, I'm like, I'll just play the like 12 catch kind of game where, you know, doesn't necessarily mean Dak's going nuts. And maybe that's too fine tooth of a comb on a short slate, but just kind of thinking about how those guys hit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's one I never would have like equated to in the past, because my natural instinct would always be just like jam Lamb and Dak together, right? Mm-hmm. I think one very interesting angle to the slate is people will be very scared to do it, but people are going to do it in other rooms. So keep your eyes on your own paper and just don't give a fuck kind of thing, is when you're at the 104 to put CD and a Pickens together. Because not enough people will do it. No one will do it. People will be like, oh my God, I can't give up the Chase and St. Brown to somebody else. Well, guess what? It already exists in some other lobby. So get yourself a unique combination that not enough people are doing by doing the Dak double with this. We just saw Primetime Palooza slate win with this exact combo last week. Like,
yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I just searched mine and I only have it twice. So yeah, it was it's something that unless you're kind of going out of your way to get, it doesn't just happen naturally.
No.
Make sure you do Lamb, Pickens, and Pickens, Lamb, Pete. You never know. Maybe you did one before the other. You could have more.
I'm using the solver, so I just just clicking of yeah.
I'm doing the old-fashioned way right now while I'm checking. Yes. But no, John, I love that, man. I did that too, and obviously, you know, like I think the key point to that is bringing it home with Dak, and that may seem obvious, but like you may be forced to look at like Lamar Jackson when you have that, but like in that draft that you just did, like you got to do that with Dak. But I don't think that was done nearly enough, man. This game is just so freaking exciting. And I think that like both these sides are just gonna be passing a ton. And in Dallas, man, in the dome, like yeah, I was loving that. I was loving that double.
Yep. Let's see. I do feel like of all of these totals, and I'm off of it now, but that is the game that I feel like has the widest range of outcomes on like how that game plays out. Like I could see that being a 2013 game and we're all throwing our turkey drumsticks at the TV, frustrated with the scoring, or I could just see like 34-30 both teams, fighting for stuff and airing it out, big plays, big playmakers. So yeah, I see that game going in two totally different directions, and I just hope it's the fun direction.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Like if I just had to rank out like the game environments, like I'm not worried about the Lions like scoring points. Like I'm not worried that they'll score less than 20. I'm not worried that the Ravens would score less than 20 on this slate. Like Packers, given all the defensive injuries on the Lions, I think we could just pencil them in for 17 as like a mean number and then work from there. The Cowboys and Chiefs, like I don't really know what both these teams can look like when they're full. And like we saw it with the second half defense that we saw from the Cowboys last week against the Eagles. Like we saw, the scuffling of the Chiefs offense in the first 3 quarters of last week against the Colts. Like this could be Dallas's sneaky, more competitive and a better complete team than we've given credence to for a while now.
Yep. What do you guys, just to circle back, we were starting to hit on some of the running backs. Like what are your guys' takes on Javonte in this spot? Like the workload has been sick. I mean, past 2 weeks, 20 attempts, 22 attempts, even caught a couple of balls there against Philly. He just hasn't been finding the end zone like he was doing at the beginning of the year. I mean, you could argue the workload has even gotten better since the start of the season for him. What are your guys' thoughts? Nez, are you like a KCD respector, or do you think he can overcome that?
No, I've been like team fade I've been taking Javonte. It really just comes down to the position of the running back where like, yeah, I definitely don't want to be caught without like one of those top 4 guys, but also Javonte's role has been so sick, and I just think the KC defense is more susceptible than like what the perception is about them, just based on like their EPA numbers. Like they've actually like not been like a total, stonewall against other teams. So yeah, I take Javonte. If I can help it, I'm not taking Javonte on my DAC teams because I just don't think that I don't think that correlates well really at all. Like I want those touchdowns to be DAC to receivers. I really don't want to split that workload. But I think what the play is like, the running backs don't separate, or like what you have is enough in terms of the 1v1 or the 2v2, whatever it is, that Javonte is there. So like, I'm not taking Javonte as this like, oh yeah, I think he's the key to the slate. It's just like, I take Javonte because I think he's too cheap for like the context of the running backs on this slate.
Yeah, yep. I think that's a good reminder of like raw points matter more so than correlation patterns do on these isolated primetime Palooza slates, where it's like if no one separates at the running back position and like a 1-1-3-1 is what wins this slate, like Javonte Williams is like probably the safest mid-tier bet for 12. Like I would say he's even safer than Josh Jacobs, given what we know about Josh Jacobs right now, for 12 fantasy points. Right?
I totally agree.
Yeah. So it's like, it's all in the context of your builds. My one thing that I'm not in love with Javonte is the way in which you build him always lines up with you having CD or Pickens before that. And it kind of forces you into a game environment play or forces you into like a Cowboys play. So I would just be cognizant of that in your builds in the turkey too. Is just like that they kept lining up over and over. And I don't necessarily see correlated ceiling between, one of the wide receivers and Javonte.
Yeah. I'm looking. So Javante's my most drafted player in the main one. And I'm looking at my combos with him. 37% with Amon-Ra, 31% with Chase, 31% with Andrews, 31% with Gesicki, 28 with Flowers, 23 with Kelsey, and then Henry at 23. It's not till I get to Lamb at 23. So I don't know if that I was doing that job naturally. Yeah, but I know what you're saying because there was a lot of like, I think a lot of times where I was maybe purposefully passing over it for that kind of dynamic you were talking about.
Yeah. Can we do the eye test conversation on Javonte right now? Hasn't Malik Davis the last 2 weeks looked like he's got a little bit of juice? Like he's got a little bit of pop there? Like he broke off a couple of them. I mean, he's not going to like usurp the role or anything like that, but I just want to have the conversation because they are going up against the defense that has allowed the second fewest yards after contact this season per attempt. So, I'm not necessarily, if you're playing the Javonte stuff, it's because you think we're getting 20 carries, we're getting 80 yards, and he's falling in the end zone once or twice, right? I don't know, man. I just want to put it on people's radar that like Malik Davis might have a little shot out of a cannon here. We saw it 2 seasons ago in one of those garbage games at the tail end of the season, but
yeah, probably not draftable, but
no.
It's a good. I mean, they want to take the load off of him a little bit, and they don't really have any other options to do so. So back-to-back weeks with 15% of the rushes, 12%. I'll be looking. When I'm talking about the household name Anthony Ferkser, I'll be nudging my father-in-law saying, like, "See that juice on Malik Davis? Should he get a little more work? What do you think?"
Like the ball knower angle in me on this slate from the running back position is that like Keaton Mitchell's got that juice, Malik Davis got a little bit of juice, and Dameon Pierce has more juice than both of the KC running backs combined right now. So like that's my I don't think it's necessarily playable, and that's more like redacted showdown bullshit, but it's like the things I'm watching tomorrow that wouldn't shock me,
For sure. Any other player takes before we talk like some small field stuff and do a couple drafts?
Yeah, did you guys get to any Yoshivas?
I did a few times.
Yeah, so did I.
Buddy, why would I get to Yoshivas when Mitch Tinsley, preseason 2-touchdown legend, is staring me in the face at a flat 24 ADP below there? If you like Mike Gesicki, you're gonna love Mitch Tinsley, my friend.
He's such a psyop, man. Yoshivas has at least like caught touchdowns, like multiple in a game.
Pardon?
Well, Yoshivas has been on the field too. Like he's just been playing, even when both Chase and T, he's like the wide receiver 3 out there. And if you do, I mean, no one can stop Chase, but don't you think the Ravens try their hardest to double and triple team Chase and just beg Burrow to beat him with anyone else? So I think this could definitely be a 7-8 target game for Yoshivas.
Okay, guys. Okay.
But to John's point, all those guys, Gesicki, Tinsley, and Yoshi all had the same target share last week. They all had an 18% target share. But
Tinsley played 74% of snaps. He only played 6 less raw snaps than Yoshivas, and he scored a touchdown last week, and he had 6 targets.
There you go.
I know that he is like the hot item right now. I'm well aware. I've heard the Mitch Tinsley conversation. I've heard it all. Yoshi's been in the league longer. He had 6 touchdowns last year. I'm going Yoshivas. Yeah.
I think my guess too is because like Gesicki's, he's a glorified slot receiver. Like that's how they're going to use them. So I guess that's kind of like the interesting thing of like, did they like Tinsley as more of like an outside replacement? How does it change with Chase out versus Higgins out for the Tinsley role? And I have not attended that level of ball knowing, academia to know.
I think that's a really good reminder to everybody that last year, the games in which T. Higgins missed, Mike Gesicki was like that was his music, like through and through. Yeah. And Gesicki coming back from injury last week was actually not the optimal setup for him. The optimal setup is actually this week with the T. Higgins role opposed to the Chase missing role.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like Ravens have actually been okay against tight ends. They've been far worse against wide receivers. But like Gesicki you're playing him as a wide receiver. You're not playing him as the inline tight end.
Yeah, the one wrinkle to it is you've added Noah Fant to the tight end room this season versus last. But
yeah. All right, let's talk a little small field strategy. We've obviously been, I think, kind of talking more through the lens of these bigger contests. But we do have a ton in the lobby. Oh, also, I got to tell you guys a funny story. Only Zakarian knows about this. So yesterday I'm like doing a few of my turkeys and just kind of like mindlessly going back to the carousel, clicking enter. I accidentally clicked pick and roll Tuesday 3-game slate. And normally you enter a pick and roll, right? $100, there's only 48, and it's like, 4 more to enter, and I just unregged. No, I was the 6th person there. So I ended up having to draft a pick and roll last night, and I thought I was going to do okay. I finished just out of the money, though, here in 8th place. So that was a fun $100 donation to you hoops guys here. I did at least get a Corey Kispert swap here, but I started looking. I go to be like, oh, Jahmyr Gibbs, I have the 101. Luka Doncic, what am I doing right now?
Hey, Numi was shifting around these tiles trying to keep the turkey alive as long as possible.
He got me. He baited me into a pick and roll.
Yeah,
hey,
spit it out.
Shout out Superior NBA. I wasn't in the pick and roll last night, but shout out Superior NBA, one of our subs there too. Good guy on the X machine. Taking that
couldn't
down,
help it.
But
saw you guys were dodging me in the pick and roll. I couldn't find any Nez or Roto-Run to be found.
Well, hey, shout out to you, Pete. True ball knower to get an 8% owned Corey Kispert in that contest. Well done, dude. That was the play.
That was from you guys in Zakarian. I was asking who my swap needed to be. I think who was the guy? Was it Keyshawn George? Was that who was scratched?
Yeah.
Anyways, we're on to small field here. Let's see. What no deposit kingdom league here. I'm going through our little overlays here.
The $100 is basically the true small field one this week.
Yeah, so let's talk before, and we can do one here. Also, I need to get my dirty birds in the winner take all. Actually, let's talk about it through the lens here, because this is kind of a fun double whammy, right? Where it's small field 456, but it is winner take all. So how do you blend that idea of maybe leaning more into correlation, but still really wanting to have the nuts to ship it all?
I think people's natural instinct to be like, oh, it's so top heavy, like I have to have like the super scroll one-off, will be like instinctively wrong. Like you can sacrifice projection in like more intelligent ways than jamming Mitchell Tinsley in this contest. Even though I will have one. But more or less the point being that like the combo dynamic is so much more important. So you'll see in hoops every night that like guys are way more willing to just like flip the board. Like last night in the winner take all, like I had 2 Luka LeBron combos because people were just willing to get different, because like the structure of the contest is you don't want to be overlapping with lineups is like the 101 thing of importance, more or less.
Yeah. Nez, what do you do with the winner take alls?
Yeah, I'm really just like kind of scrolling at QB. I guess like I'm really trying to make sure that I have like a unique double in the uniqueness angle coming from the QB. So Love double or Goff double, and playing it that way, where like that's the one bet is like that my QB is outscoring the other QBs, and it's coming at such a stark drafted percentage discount that like that immediately puts me into that top quadrant. That would be like my thing, is probably just avoiding the top 4, top 3 in QBs.
What about just more generic, like looking at the stuffing? This is essentially the fullback dive, Thanksgiving proxy, $25 entry, 5K to first, 1,128 entrants. So I think firmly in the small field conversation. Are you guys more likely to? Would you ever have like 4 players from the same team in this size, or do you think the slate dynamic still would kind of keep you to, max of 3 from a team?
I think in a vacuum, the answer would be yes, but on this particular slate, just given the high totals and the distribution of fantasy points, I would say no. It's also really hard. I've tried to do a little bit of onslaughty stuff, and unless you go down to like Keaton Mitchell or Rashad Bateman with the Q tag or double Ravens tight ends, like it's really hard to onslaught teams here. Like the Lions basically. There's only 4 pieces anyone really wants to play, and it's impossible to put 2 of them together. I guess maybe the answer would be Dallas would be the easiest, and you would flip the board from the front end like we talked about before with the Lamb Pickens thing. But you kind of
have to get lucky with a Chiefs fall, unless you do like Rice and Kelsey and just do it just to do it, and then take like Mahomes and a running back, and at the 3-4 turn. Cowboys is definitely the easiest, as I kind of gotten there like accidentally quite a bit. Bengals, but like, do you really want like the Bengals onslaught would be like Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, Gesicki, and I don't love like doing it like that. I'd rather it be just like pass catchers with the onslaught stuff. So yeah, I think for me it would be max 3, but even then, like that's like it's just hard to do given the dynamics of the slate here. I think I'm more willing to take the higher owned QBs though in the stuffing. That's probably where I'll get more of that exposure in.
I think the one tweak I could see myself doing more in the small field stuff is like the kind of touchdown dependent running back with the quarterback. So be more willing to do Hunter Pacheco, probably Hunt with Mahomes, do Montgomery with Goff, Javonte with Dak. Those are the ones, in a typical BR slate, we're kind of going out of our way to avoid that, but just saying like, hey, this slate kind of points to a couple teams scoring 30 points. And typically that team who scores 30, it's going to be both the running back and the quarterback getting there. So I could see myself kind of leaning into some of those like quarterback, running back, pass catcher stacks on the small field stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think in particular, the one that I liked the most out of that, Pete, was the Detroit one, like the Montgomery, where the touchdowns funnel through him and then you do the Goff skinny kind of thing.
Yeah. Let's see. You guys want to draft a small field one here?
Do your winner take all.
All right, let's do it. Where am I? Dirty Bird. This is 5 max, by the way. So you got more than just one bullet here. We can raw dog this. I should mention for people, if you guys have been on the fence with the solver, if you've seen John and Nez use it, if you have seen like Glenn talk about it on After Dark, they are running the promo. People were asking that during the After Dark. I believe 20% off solver 20. So if you guys want to do it, these are honestly the short slates are where it's probably the most valuable because of tracking the combos. Like the amount of times I probably would have duped myself ripping in 150 pretty quickly without it, and was certainly a huge help there if you're getting in volume. So take advantage of that if you guys have been on the fence.
Yeah, I mean, just listen to the Mike testimonial, and that's all you need. It's just like he's been crushing NBA because of it.
All right, let's see here. So we got the 103 in here. Hubert wants us to do a big turkey.
We're gonna drink.
I'm easing
we might
into
have
it.
to switch. We might have to switch the screen shares. We're gonna just take all of Pete's money here.
That's right. All right. 1-3. This is often the Chase or Amon-Ra decision. I'm good with either. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna say Amon-Ra here.
All right, let's do it.
Gonna
John, you
set a little something up.
Okay, all right. He's setting something up, folks.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so Rohan does the Lamb Pickens, so we can get the Chase Amon-Ra if we'd like.
Let's do it. 100%.
Nez, does this ruin your plan?
I mean, no. Okay. Plan still a go.
Okay.
John can have the next one since that was like he had like you can't not take Jamar Chase there. So John can. We'll snake draft this. Maybe John can. We might even do 3rd round reversal where John gets another one.
Okay. I was tempted when Pete clicked it that I clicked it too, and he was 4 out of 4. So I was in one right now too with my guy Len Keith's in here as well, and I got the first Mitch Tinsley share.
Why are you kind of head to head in a winner take all? What's the plan there?
For the mod, baby.
It's nice. We see Kelsey and Flowers go here, which is going to help push. There was a chance we were going to get shut out at running back, and now we're going to be able to get one of Chase Brown or Javonte. What do you guys want to do?
I like Javonte more, like just in general. But if you want the ADP fall and you want to do the running back plus pass catcher that we were talking about, you can set up a nice Burrow thing with Chase. But I think Nez wants either Jameis or whatever. So I would take
Javonte. Go Javonte.
Yeah. All right. We can grab Javonte there. So we got Javonte, Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase, a piece of every game so far. This is the Dirty Bird winner take all $20 entry, only 456 entrants, 8K to first. Nez, is this JMO?
Yeah, it's either JMO or Gesicki because we got to do a double here. But let's do the Goff double.
And I think we could still do both those. I mean, yeah, obviously can't do both quarterbacks, but run both.
I was gonna say I was curious if Raheem would have taken Javonte if we gave him Javonte because he has the double Dallas thing.
That's interesting.
If we would have forced them to do it, like would he have done it?
Well, Rohan is in the chat. Let us know, Rohan. If we would have taken Brown, would you have taken Javonte or passed?
What difference would it have made for you, Nez? Like, what would you have taken instead then?
No, we would have been able to get
Chase Brown and running backs.
Oh, you would have played both running backs that way?
It would have been a pretty sick combo faller, like really tough to get. Yeah, Rohan, I think, said he would have scooped it up and then.
Okay. Yeah, play the Mahomes side. That'd be smart. Yeah, I didn't think that he would pass on it, but it would definitely feel kind of gross.
Yeah. Yeah, that gets back to the thing we were kind of just talking about is like how much of an onslaught are you comfortable in? 456 though, man, that is not a lot. Like that is not a lot. And if you think about like how many even Dak triples are there going to be in the contest, you're probably down to, doubles. Like you're probably down to like what, 15, 20 teams or whatever. Let's see. Should we do, we can pick our quarterback because well, we know what Rohan's doing. He's going Dak. So we're good to do whatever. I'll just grab Gesicki and then we can decide on which double we want.
Okay. I think it's Goff.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of ownership leverage. The Chase Gesicki will be owned more with the Burrow stuff.
And also like, again, the barrier for what you might need at tight end on this slate and even in this contest, it could be like 7 or 8 points. Whereas our core stuff, Amon-Ra and JMO, if those guys are combining for, hopefully like 35 points at minimum in this, to ship us, like Goff's got to be going for 25 in that instant. Unless JMO's doing it on like a 60-yard end around, then maybe. But that's the only way I'd see that not hitting.
Oh, that'd be so bittersweet.
Yeah, you see Thor here at the end doing the move that I like with taking Reed here. Oh, does go the double tight end with Lamar, but could always swap that Reed to Dobbs if they needed.
Nice. The other one the other one we didn't talk about that you can do it with too is Bateman. I mean, it's a little more fun to do it with Reed, but you could also do Bateman's Q tag with the Lamar stuff.
For sure. Yeah, I think the the Reed is a little more fun just because of how ambiguous that wide receiver room is. And like, you're like, where does he fit in with that? Where I think we kind of know Bateman's role regardless, but yeah, it's I think Bateman is interesting. If he hits, it's probably on a big play if he scores. And he's just not going to be paired with Lamar that much.
Yeah, like Lamar's going to be stacked a lot, and it's only with the tight ends and Flowers. And if you believe this like WR1 shutdown narrative, yeah,
I like it.
All right, guys. You want to build a couple of pick'ems here as we are known to do. Come on.
Let's do it.
Pick'ems, spicy margs.
Radioactive spice.
Let's spice it up, slop it up.
I mean, slide.
Just permission to slide, Your Honor. You sliders! That's a 65X. That makes me feel things. All right. Oops. Where's my right screen here for us? pick'ems. Let's we're all going vibes based today. You know, we haven't been staring at the pick'em lobby. At least I haven't here. So I think we can just get to a few of the spots that we're gonna let the vibes flow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like overarching here and just really go with my gut, and that's the fact that I think the Cowboys and the Chiefs are going to sling it, air it out like crazy, and I think it starts with Dak, and I think Dak's just gonna sling it. Let's go. If Dak's passing, I'm not looking at the screen. If his passing yard total is less than 280, I want it. Oh, and it's well under. Let's go.
Do you want to slide it to 280 here?
I do.
Slide
Thank you
in
for
the door,
asking.
baby.
Permission to
That's
slide.
right. Hang on, I like this. Now, don't look again. Who's your favorite pat? You like Pickens, so what number do you like Pickens to?
I like Pickens to 89.
All right,
That's not the
74
base guess, but yeah, I like him to 89.
Yeah, so then you take him to 89 and a half. What do you guys think about Worthy on this opposite this?
What is it 45? Oh yeah, you could do that.
It's the thesis.
Do we 45?
Tell me the number for Worthy.
That's like you barely get anything extra for 45. But for 50, you get like a lot more compared to let's go to 50. That's nothing.
Wow, but the passing yards, the doc here, this one isn't too good because this is less than a 6x even with the
might have to mix and match.
Slide. Yeah. I wonder like Pickens, maybe we could look at longest catch.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to see here. I don't know. Touchdowns a 1.15. Let's see if that's better here as far as the doc. Yeah, that's way better than there's no doc, not near as much of a doc on that because that goes from like a 5.5 to a 6.6.
Yeah, that feels that definitely feels better. And it's like the same thing that we're trying to play.
On it, boys.
And then, I can't help myself. I do think if Worthy's hitting, like he's going for more than 59 and a half. What do you think about this one? Dak to 280, Pickens scores a touchdown, Worthy gets to 60. That seems attainable.
It tells the story. Tells a reasonable story.
All right, there we go.
All right,
Dak
you guys
higher,
want
279 and a half. Go ahead.
I got two conviction core plays that I was humming and hawing over here.
Okay, I love it.
Isaiah Pacheco lower rushing yards.
Okay, I like that.
And Jahmyr Gibbs higher receiving yards.
Receiving yards or receptions?
Either or, to be honest. But I think receiving yards gives us the big playability.
I want to see if they're giving us this. So Josh was on this one last week, and I ruined it with whatever pick 'em I put it in. But the game high rushing leader, day high rush yards, he's 1.86. I didn't realize we have day high and not just game high here, which is pretty interesting.
Wow.
Sick.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. So just to compare, Derrick Henry's 1.17. Oh, that's a really interesting category.
Gibbs is
so they like Henry that much more than Gibbs.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, but but here's the thing, Lamar is on here too. For
but Lamar's not right. I am not scared about Lamar being gay. I wish I could short that.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, same.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Jahmyr Gibbs gets caught in a passing script. He's only rushing the ball like 10 times, 40 rushing yards, not getting there. Josh Jacobs isn't rushing for the most rush yards of the day. So let's just X him out. And then the reason you'd like the Lamar thesis is because they're probably passing. It's a high scoring game, so Chase Brown's not on this list. And then if you play Lamar Jackson at rushing yards, obviously it's not a Derrick Henry game. That was the easiest tic-tac-toe. I just landed on Lamar having the highest rush yards of the day against this absolutely trash defense. if you don't want to play with me, you don't have to play with me. But I'm playing. You guys can't stop me.
You got to agree, Gibbs at 1.86. I mean, he should easily be the favorite.
I mean, that's
game high.
really fun, right? I mean, he's the second most.
Well, how about this? Let's do a game high rush yards or day high rush yards receiving in a sec. But let's round out John's core. Let's get one more with the Pacheco lower Gibbs. Do you want to get a Gesicki in here, Nez?
Can I ask you? Okay, yeah. Let's round this out with a Gesicki because that was one of Nez's cores. But two things, Pete, private chat, please, and for the first one there, and the other thing is, how many times this year has Lamar Jackson rushed for more than Derrick Henry in a game on his own team?
It's got to be 0. He's not rushing this year.
Oh yeah, it's 0. He hasn't ran since 70 yards in week 1. He's at 11, 10, 36, 14, 48. Like he's not running.
I think he needs like a playoff game to finally be like, all right, I'll do it.
Dude, it's do or die for them. I'm just saying. It's all right.
Nez, what's your favorite Gesicki to put into the core here?
Yards.
All right. So there's a clean 6X here.
I'm over here turning $5 into $1,000 by saying Lamar Jackson rushes for the most yards tomorrow, and JMO has the most receiving yards. But like, go ahead and turn 5 into 30. You guys have fun with that.
All right. Since we fractured the show on this Lamar rushing one, John, who's going to be the day high receiving yards leader?
That'd be relative to price point, but probably Mitchell Tinsley. But
not even listed.
Yeah, I actually think Waymo's a pretty good one there, but it doesn't pair well with the Gibbs one. So I think Chase would be
Watson.
My guy. Watson, that's a fun one.
Watson. Yeah. What's his?
Ooh, 8.28.
This is the banger right here.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
And I do think correlating these day high ones within the game makes so much sense, right? Like if you get one game that goes nuts. So yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. Did I put the core in? No, I got
not yet. This one's so fun on another level too, where I think it's sharp and they're both the archetypes of players to do it. But also, this would be such a gross, agonizing sweat after you smash the morning game for the rest of the day to be staring at this pick'em.
Yes. All right, there's your day high. Shout out to Watson with that 8.26 there, 8.28 on day high receiving yards. That's a fun one.
You know what's like totally nothing, but like kind of interesting is that for day high receiving, Pickens has the lower multiplier than CD Lamb. Just kind of.
Really? Huh. Okay. I just saying his like ceiling when he hits more big plays, more likely to rack up yards. Yeah, kind of like what I was talking about with stacking with Dak.
Yep.
Yeah, for like the super lazy in Slate comp, it's like the Amon-Ra and JMO version of like, Lamb and Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lamb also had some bad drops last week, including a touchdown that would have probably won me to bomb.
Let's do something with flowchart Andrews.
Mm-hmm. I think you do what my gut tells me he's just scoring 2 times.
See, that's nice. That's nearly 3x.
Okay. And then when you play this, do you just go to like a completely different game environment, or are you like trying to stay within this game?
If he's scoring twice, is Derrick Henry not scoring?
Oh,
will
they let us do that?
No, you have to add something to it, and then it becomes.
Well, no, I know. I just wanted to see, like, I just want to see if I get something else in here. Yeah, okay. It'll let us do that. I do kind of like that correlation though, as far as Henry being way less likely to score in those scenarios.
That's actually really fun. What did you throw in there?
I get.
I put Gesicki the higher that gets to a 13x.
I mean, that's fun.
If you slide Let's see. Oh, I forget now that you can do the double whenever you do the slide, it just like copies it in the entry.
It puts it right in there.
All right. How about slide Gesicki to 44.5? That's 1.1. This gets you up to a 16.3x. Andrews 2, Henry no, Gesicki 45.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yo, you know what's actually not crazy? That's like kind of cool. Jahmyr Gibbs, day high receiving yards.
I saw
Isn't that like 18?
Yeah, that's not that. I mean, that's not.
How many did he have last week?
I don't know.
See, it was like, last week. So he had 107 the week before against Philly.
Yeah, you'd be hard pressed to lead this slate with 107, though. Yeah.
Let's get one other fun slide, whether with touchdowns or yards. Who are two out? Who we did kind of the Gibbs Watson. What's another fun mini correlation? I mean, we kind of did Worthy and Pickens. Is it like a Chase Zay or something like that?
Yeah, that's the first one that came to mind, but like I don't think any of us love Zay like that.
I do.
You do?
Huh? Well, yeah, I do.
I mean, Pete, this is the straight from the cojones convictions play show, and that was kind of a tempered response there. That wasn't. Do we believe or do we believe here?
My favorite subplot of the chat today is we got this guy Bingo Bongo, who's like the world's biggest Bengals fan, and he only has takes on the Bengals, and they are very passionate takes about every single one of those. I'm sorry, but I'm not trusted in the laundry bro to influence every one of our pickups. We got to zoom out, brother. We're talking day high, not just game high, not just Cincinnati high. We're talking day high, brother.
You can't put Yoshi lower than 19.5 if you use promo code badge. If you're not in there yet, Bingo, get in there and slide Yoshi to lower 19.5.
Let's see here. No, yeah, we don't have to do. I mean, yeah, honestly, too, the narrative and how it's been playing out is that DJ Turner or whatever on the Bengals has actually been slowing, or sorry, on the on the Bengals has been slowing the number ones, and then it's everybody else has been feasting.
Can we take day low on Yoshi?
Day low, yeah.
Come on.
Yes, that's it. How about we do like an emotional hedge or like the gross hedge of like these games, some of them flop, whether that involves Kareem Hunt, David Montgomery, a string of lowers.
Yeah, let's start with Chase Brown lowers then.
Oh, Nez is going to be tilted.
All right, how are you going to play this? Because these numbers
Combo
are already
yards.
like too low.
Combo yards.
Isn't the way to play it probably? Yeah, I think you could do combo. I think receiving would be the other way. I mean, he's barely cleared this number in the past 2 games without
Check down
P-Ryan.
Joe.
Yeah. You like combo though?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the Hunt stuff? Hunt at plus money to score against Dallas feels nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good with it.
Yeah, that would make nobody feel good.
Do you want? Should we give Bing Bong his Yoshi Vosh lower?
You know I'm about it.
Let's give it to him.
36.5, man.
All right, Nez, give us 2 other hater picks here.
Let's do in like inverse style where like somebody is doing well that hurts everybody's Montgomery touchdown.
Yes.
Nice.
Similar to the Hunt play for sure, plus money.
Yeah.
And then we get one more to get us up to our 20x, one more hater play. Can I do a Rashi Rice lower?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that all checks out.
I think I'll just take lower fantasy points on him.
Yeah.
15.15. So that gets us here's the hater. Chase Brown lower scrimmage yards, Kareem Hunt scores, Yoshi Voss lower 36.5. Shout out Bing Bong. David Montgomery scores, Rashi lower 15.15.
That might be my favorite one yet.
You know, would we finally Last year it was a theme on the Friday show. We would do a hater entry. We kind of forgotten to do that this year. Maybe we need to get back to our ways.
We're too nice.
We've been chasing W's so much that we don't even, we're just fully like long shotting things right now.
Yes. Also, I just realized we made it this far into the show. I know it's pinned in the chat. We've been tweeting it, posted in the Discord, but should remind you guys, we've capitulated to Big Black Friday, the industrial complex that forces anyone with any kind of product to do a sale. But we were giving in, this is the biggest sale we've done for Underdog Masterclass yet. I believe we've topped out at 20% promo. So 40% off, promo code Turkey. This will expire at kickoff this weekend. So hop on in there. I've already had a handful of you guys take advantage of that sale. This is the cheapest it will ever be. And like Nez said on Twitter, completely evergreen stuff here. It's not, Slate specific, although you do get my my gems each week in addition to the evergreen courses, 10 plus hours of roundtables. You can call out sick to Thanksgiving tomorrow and just stay home, lay in bed and listen to our roundtables while watching football. That's the life right there, guys.
That is the life.
Yeah. Let's see here. Do we not have a classic core with each of our favorite plays? You want a classic core to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we private chat first, please? And
yes.
then
Which one do you need? Hater or Andrews or both?
Both actually. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get the day high? I don't know if I private chatted that either. I've been slacking on the private chat. There you go. Okay. We each get, now that we've kind of like talked it all through, we each get our favorite play in here for Trust the Pastas. Nez, who's your core pick?
Yeah, I think just after like looking at the numbers of all these, now that I've actually had a chance to sit down and look at them, I think mine is going to be a higher on Romeo Dubs. For the receptions. 3.5. It's we get a little bit of a dock on the multiplier there. If you want to take it to 4.5, you can. But I just, the way that I'm seeing this game go for the Packers, like I've been saying, like all show, is like I just think it's just gonna be a lot of dropbacks for the Packers, and Dubs is just like the most boring safe guy, and I think you just play him via pick'ems, where like he's just gonna like beat these projections because of the dropbacks that I'm anticipating for the Packers.
I like it. John, what do you want to do with your conviction?
I kind of used him in that first one there, but I'm either going, I'll let you guys decide. Flowchart Bengals with either Andrews or Likely, or using another iteration of the Gibbs one and using receptions this time instead of receiving yards.
What do you like, Pete?
Let's see. I like the Gibbs one, especially if we're going to do Dobbs.
Me too.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? 34.5 here?
We did that already, so let's do receptions this time.
Receptions. Yep.
Yeah.
4.5 receptions there for Gibbs. And I'm gonna go to my worthy take. I'm not gonna do any slides or anything. I'm just gonna take the 36.5 here. I could also, you know what I'll actually do? I'll even make it easier on us. I'm gonna do 18.5 longest reception for Worthy there, and that way it could even be on just one or two targets that he can get us home there. Romeo Dobbs 3.5 receptions, Gibbs 4.5 receptions, Xavier Worthy 18.5 longest reception there. Oh, wait, its projections are inactive. What's going on here? Are you guys front running me again on this? There we go.
All
right. There is the core. Normally we do the core first, but this time we had to talk it through in the chat. I will also post these in the show notes, in the show description, as well as in the Discord. Thankful for all of you guys, everyone who hangs out in the Deposit Kingdom, who watches the Badge Bros, who watches the shows on my channel. Always a blast talking ball with you guys, and feeling blessed to have this fun slate and so much to talk through with you guys. Any parting shots for you guys?
No, I know you got Friendships Giving tonight.
Yeah.
You got a loaded lineup there. Always hilarious and fun. You guys, are you gonna? I know, Pete, you're not really an at-home drinker. Are you gonna be turning up for this one?
No.
Okay.
I joked on the Swolecast if Tuttle started drinking, I would break my. But no, I'm not gonna break my my seal. I'm gonna save up for tomorrow.
That's fair.
Yeah, you guys should, if you guys like 9:30 Eastern, if you guys are free, I've been booking like just 30-minute slots if you guys want to swing by at 9:30 to 10 Eastern.
Cool.
If I'm free, I'll hit you up.
Yeah. I'll do my I'll do the at-home drinking for you.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Maybe invite rescinded.
Yeah,
drunk John coming through. Sorry, man, didn't see your DM.
Well, John, you could reprise one of the all-time ship giving moments. I believe it was ship giving was when Jacob Sanderson doxed his location in Vancouver, and we were just like, Google imaging. So, John, you could come and dox yours, and we just have all of our Canadian friends and know exactly where you are at all times.
That'd be good, clean fun. Yeah, I don't know. Thankfully we're gonna be spending some IRL time together in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, we're like 1 weekend away from Dog Bowl together. It'd be awesome.
Great. Are you flying out on Thursday next week?
Yes, I'm going Thursday through Denver. So Thursday morning. Yeah.
Yeah. So a week from now, John, you will be on your travels to KC. And then so we'll hammer out the schedule for next week. But as far as for off and on the clock, back Friday, normal time, 3 p.m. Eastern, breaking down the week 13 slate. Obviously a quick turnaround after Thanksgiving, but we'll be ready with bells on. And then next week, we won't have the typical show on Friday afternoon because it's probably going to be later in the evening from the venue at the Dog Bowl welcome party. And we're going to have content for you guys, probably 2 major streams, the kickoff stream and then a sweat stream type of thing on Sunday. And I'm sure we'll be mixing in some interviews and stuff on socials as well. So it's going to be a super fun weekend. And our goal is for you guys who aren't there to be able to follow along as closely as possible. That's the goal here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving. Like I said, what do you got?
We're going to redirect to Hoops. Yeah. Members only Hoops redirect right now. Nez's touch and go. I don't know. Nez, are you going to stick around or what do you got?
I need to check my text to see if my dog is ready to get picked up.
Sounds good.
Here, I'm going to show, we had someone in the chat says, what does the GM combo mean? You know what? I'm not even going to make you go and buy the course to tell you this. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up the glossary for you. This is some of the great content you can get as part of the masterclass here. GM, the caption that accompanies a screenshot of a lineup where the drafter got massive values on one or more players. It's a subtle flex along the lines of, you won't be able to get this in your rooms. So there you go, Masty. Or you can take advantage of the 40% off and get all of the info you need to know in the slang here around the Deposit Kingdom. For Nez, for John, thankful for you all. Go check out Hoops, go check out Ship Giving, and enjoy that Thursday. Hopefully one of you ships the turkey. We'll see you guys next time.